Good morning, J. Johns, and YouTube, and Patreon. J. Johns, your question was, how do you find balance between prepping and normal life? Like the doom and gloom plus the everyday. And I have a lot of thoughts on this. So, this is a Patreon mini consult that I will make available on YouTube at a later date because I want the people at YouTube to understand what we do at Patreon. It's not just behind the scenes content and blog posts and pics and all that stuff, but it is actual consultation. We answer y'all's questions. Mostly with chickens crowing. But we answer questions. We do at least 3 mini consultations a week. At the $5 level, you're entered for the loot box. At the $10 level, you get the mastermind live stream. At $20, $50, and $100 level, you get phone calls with T to answer your questions in person, privately. So, it's $1. Patreon.com/TJMorrisNTXMag. T, stop pumping your Patreon. No, we're building it out into something awesome, and I'm amazed by it, and I'm amazed by my patrons. So, if you think the content that we produce here, the regularly scheduled program of 5, 6, sometimes 7 videos a week on YouTube about homesteading, about preparedness, about philosophy, about mindset, about leadership, about essential oils, about Women's Wednesday and Harmony's views on the world, and the Shabbat readings, and the Bible study, and the Torah portions, and the live streams. If you think all of that isn't worth $1, yeah, we pour our soul into this. We try and feed y'all and help y'all because it feeds us and encourages us and it helps us. And we try and bring as much value as we can. So yeah, I'm on a Patreon kick because we provide value. Now, getting back to J. Johns and his question. First and foremost, it occurs to me that I'm out walking the land. I was doing a little stalking earlier. It's like patrolling plus hunting. And I'm just out here on my own property walking around, and I have 79 rounds of ammunition on me. 79. There are 20 of these bad boys, 69 grain ballistic tip, 5.56. 30 of these bad boys, 62 grain soft points. There you go, focus, you dumb thing. 30 of them. And then, oh yeah, this fella. And then this fella. And then 29 of these 185 grain jacketed hollow points, or not jacketed, solid copper hollow points, Barnes X-Tac 45 auto out of the Glock 21C ultra tactical defensive sidearm. So I'm just out here walking my own property. I've got 79 rounds of ammunition on me. Is that too much? I don't think so. Now, look at that white hair. Look at that. Getting old. All right, so the balance between doomsday prepping and everyday life. So as I've said myriad times here, you need an SHTF plan and a retirement plan. Okay, you need food options and stock options. You need a 5.56 and a 401k. All right. Y'all are getting the point here. It's a 2-pronged approach. The first thing I would say is don't prep for doomsday. Now that sounds really counterintuitive, but just a very simple mindset shift, I think, helps a lot. Preparedness is for the big things, the global catastrophes, the national issues, political unrest, the plague, right? EMP, CME, all that stuff. Okay, yeah. Those things, truthfully, are way outside of our ability to affect change, right? All we can do is react to those things. We cannot be proactive about those. Even then, we meet the anxiety of those situations with action. That's why we have food storage and medical preps and homesteads, and even if you're in suburbia, plant a garden, get some backyard chickens, do all the things. So that's why we do that for the big things. But I would encourage you to focus on the little things, the regional things, maybe the things that affect only your life. Your broken leg, now you can't work. Or we have several people that follow this channel right now that are in some type of recovery from surgery, right? Now that could be, depending on who you are in the situation, your own personal SHTF. So focus on those things with the upside and the understanding that action beats anxiety, so there's no need to be all doomy gloomy because you've got insurance, right? It's like even when you get into a bad car wreck, Lord willing, everybody survives, it'll be okay. We've got insurance. Well, that's what your food preps are. That's what your medical preps are. That's what this is, right? It's insurance. Preparedness is insurance for an uncertain world. And so all we're really doing is applying forethought coupled with action to problem solve for the unforeseen in the future, which is commendable. But I would look at it and encourage you to look at it. Here come these dumb chickens. Look at these guys. Look at them. See them? They're like, we're doing YouTube. Here we come. Baka baka ba. I would encourage you to view this preparedness experience through the lens of an insurance policy and not to get caught up in all the hype. I'd also say I don't watch the news at all. At all. I listen to very little talk radio nowadays. And even what I do listen to, frankly, I don't listen all the way through it. I get kind of fed up and disgusted, and then I'll turn it off. Okay, I was just attacked by my rooster, one of 4. Who's over there? That white thing by the trailer. The big fella, foghorn. He attacked my foot, so I just kicked him in the face and launched him about 8 feet up into the air. Now he's over there sulking. But it ended the video, so now we had to start over again. So that was fun. So, what's your level of preparedness? How quickly can you react to an attack? I'm not kidding. I wish I got this on film. He attacked my foot. I kicked him up into the air, and as he was coming down into the air, I had my pistol out, pointed at this poor chicken. I knew he was walking next to me, but I didn't think he was going to be dumb enough to attempt to attack a 6-foot tall, 300-pound bear. But he did. So he got kicked in the face. All right. I don't listen to talk radio, and when I do, I don't get all the way through it. I end up turning it off because I just get frustrated. Because even the neutrals, the centrists, I can see the agenda, right? And everybody has an agenda. Everybody has, the company line that they're towing. Everybody has a point of view that they're trying to push, myself included. But I get fed up with it. And so I disengage because I'm not interested in dealing with the hype. I'm a realist. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I'm a realist. I operate first and foremost on the level of actuality. That's what matters to me first. And so the actuality is, I would say right now, I would put the probability that the world ends within the next 12 months at less than 50%. Maybe even less than 10% within the next 12 months. I think that, now, I know it's going to get a lot of angry comments. That's cool. And everybody's entitled to their opinion. But I would add, if you're going to come to this channel and talk smack to me, when I click on your channel and you have 2 subscribers and no content and nothing but a bunch of playlists, maybe generate your own thoughts and ideas first and then we'll talk. Because I've been getting a lot of that lately. So just a friendly word of advice. You're entitled to your opinion, but make sure your opinion is yours. Because it doesn't seem that most of these people who have a problem with my opinion actually have any opinions of their own. So, said with all love. The reality is, I don't believe that we will have the world ending within the next 12 months. It's possible. But, I mean, like, I've been studying a lot of World War I lately, and from the time that Archduke Franz Ferdinand was assassinated in Serbia by the guy whose name I can't remember right now, to the time that there was armies amassing on opposite sides of a field to do battle, was 2 weeks. So it is possible. I just think the likelihood is low. And so, based upon that, again, the whole doom and gloom thing, what I'm really trying to say here is focus on the things that you can affect change on and the things that will have an immediate effect on you. And then the big things that you can't affect change on, you just prepare generally for those things like you would anything else. Okay. Now, that's the doom and gloom side of it. The good stuff, the family side of it, I would say, well, and for me the good stuff is family, but whatever it is that brings you joy, as much time and attention and money that you're spending on preparedness, at least that much should be spent on the things that bring you joy. What do you like doing? I mean, I like reading my Bible. I spend a lot of time doing that. Comparatively, to a lot of people, I'm coming to find out, and I don't say that bragging at all, because I thought I was on the low end of the spectrum, but apparently I read my Bible more than a lot of people read theirs. So I enjoy doing that. I enjoy playing drums. I don't do that enough. I need to do more of that. I enjoy spending time with my family, and I am now in a position, literally and figuratively, to do more of that than I have done in the last 6 months. So you have to prioritize and execute the things that bring you joy, as well as the things that could cause the world to end. Rah, rah, rah. Do you have a gas mask and duct tape and sheets of plastic? Nuclear, biological, chemical scrubbers? Man, what the main thesis of my life is, life should be worth living. And I want you to focus on the fact that life should be worth living. That's kind of how I balance things. Is A, in my preps, I prepare in such a way that my existence after the balloon goes up gives me a much higher probability of having a life worth living. And then B, Now, during just normal life, fill your life with joy. Do things that are important to you. Set goals and achieve them. Write down 3 things that you want to accomplish. A 2-week goal, a 6-month goal, and a 5-year goal. Write them down. Hang them on your wall. Pin them above your computer screen, whatever. But physically write them down. Your 2-week, your 6-month, and your 5-year. Work on that. That'll get your focus off the doom and gloom, because a lot of times we focus on things being torn down, but we don't focus on things being built up. So focus on things getting built up. And really the balance here is, again, your time, your energy, and your money at a minimum. But I think you should skew more towards this everyday life with a seasoning of preparedness rather than 90% preparedness, 10% everyday life and family life, a seasoning of normalcy. And there are ways to prepare that are extremely enjoyable for certain people. For example, us. I believe that homesteading in community, to the best of your ability, immediate community that live with you, or ancillary community that live around you, friends, family, loved ones. Homesteading with community is the ultimate fulfillment of the preparedness lifestyle. And it brings me joy. A lot of it. So you can have your cake and eat it too. There's lots of things that you can do under the guise of preparedness that are enjoyable as well. I mean, depends on who you are and what you enjoy doing, but in gardening, I love gardening. I love seeing things come up out of the ground. I mean, look at how happy these beans are. Look at that. Incredible. I love it. That's a preparedness thing, right? I like trimming trees, knocking trees over, and cutting firewood. I like doing that. That's a preparedness thing. I like shooting guns. That's a preparedness thing. It brings me joy to have stockpiled food. That's a preparedness thing. As much as these chickens annoy me, I like the fact that they exist. That's a preparedness thing. I like my kids being able to walk out on this piece of land and just go play in the creek if they want to, or go for a hike, and it takes them an hour to walk from one side of the property to the other and back again. I like that. So it's not necessarily just separating your joy from the doom and gloom of preparedness, but finding ways to prepare that bring you joy as well. And so you don't want to be so over concerned with real life that you're not prepared if the balloon goes up, but you don't want to be so over concerned with preparedness that that is your real life, because a life should be worth living. And don't focus on the negative stuff. Yeah, it could get real bad. You know what? I could walk out in this road and get run over by a school bus and be in a full body cast for the next 3 years. That could be real bad too. The probability of which, I don't know. But I can tell you this, there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people that are injured in car accidents and get cancer and have their homes burned down this year. That will be their own personal SHTF. And the likelihood, unfortunately, of those things happening is much higher than North Korea lands an invasion force in the Pacific Northwest or whatever, right? We have statistical probabilities, right? We can put together an actuarial table on the likelihood of those things happening. And unfortunately, it's high. So stay grounded in the everyday and feed the things that bring you joy in the everyday, and use preparedness to, if you can, bring you joy, and then as a seasoning, as a flavoring to your life, so that you're not focused on you know, a nuclear holocaust, or the next super bug that leads to a worldwide plague, or the Spanish influenza making a return, or global food shortages, or because all these things are possible. Some of them are probable. I mean, my pet thing is economic collapse that leads to civil unrest in the United States, coupled with a change in the climate and food shortage. Those are the big things that I see kind of swirling together that sooner or later will all come to a head and cause chaos in the United States. But I meet that anxiety with action. And what I mean by that is literally we've taken the action to get away from the city, to get out here into the country, to purchase things like this and know how to use them, to plant stuff in the ground like this and train them to our soil, to kick chickens in the face because they think that you're on their territory, right? To got 3 wells in the ground, you know, so forth and so on. And in doing all that, it brings us joy and it brings us comfort. So don't just look for the silver lining, be the silver lining, live in the silver lining. Like it's mindset, man. It's your headspace. It's your headspace. Be real cognizant of what you're feeding yourself. Don't feed yourself with negativity. There's enough of that BS out there in the first place. You don't need to put more of it in you. Feed yourself with light and positivity, and be light and positivity in your own life and everybody else's life. And then this doomsday prepper survival stuff, if you're operating from a position of strength, you can bless yourself, bless your family, and bless others. And you don't have to be I'm not going to use the word. So that's my philosophy on that, Brother J. Johns. The balance between doomsday prepping and real life and finding joy. I hope that helps one of you or more. And I'm going to shameless plug again. If you like these talks, please come see us on Patreon. TJ Morris NTX Mag at Patreon, or you can just go into the search bar and look for Squid and Bear, or you can click the link down below. You can also like, comment, and share this video here on YouTube. That helps us in the algorithm quite a bit. And if you have legitimate questions and concerns, you can email us at ntxmag, November Tango X-ray, Mike Alpha Golf @gmail.com. Just because you have my email address doesn't mean you have a great reason to use it. So make sure you have a great reason to use it. So that will help us all come together. And know that typically we respond to questions that we get on Patreon. That's where we do these mini consults. And what you're seeing now is a Patreon video that we are putting on YouTube at a later date for general consumption. So again, we do our best as a family, as a company, and as a brand to bring you value. I think we bring you overwhelming value. And if you agree with that, please let us know. So, shalom and blessings. Maybe you should go take your modern sporting rifle for a walk. They like it every now and then. They like to get out of the closet or the gun safe or the case underneath your bed and just go for a walk. It's good for them. It's good for them. It's even better when they poop. They leave little piles of brass everywhere. It's good for them. They don't like to be backed up. Shalom.